This video was sponsored by Discord Nitro because not only is it bringing perks to Warframe, for $9.99 a month you also gain access to over $1,000 worth of games, custom tags, the use of animated GIFs in servers, you can also boost servers, and so much more. Not only can you also still claim the Satin Nitro bundle with its $50 value that will get you the Satin frame, the Orchid skin, the weapon skins, melee dangly, the armor set, a sandana, a bobblehead, even though it's a noggle, a 7-day resource booster. It's not actually showing up here, but the border shows it for a limited time. You can also pick up a affinity booster as well. At the moment, this is only on PC, maybe coming to console soon. Now before we get into this, because this was on Friday and technically it's Tuesday, let's talk about some of the silly things that were kind of mentioned. The Wolf of Satin 6 items will make an appearance in the future. That is a good thing, but at the same time you can take on the Wolf of Satin 6 by getting his lure, his whatever you want to call it, beacon, from Nightwave. So in theory you can still get those. The items it was referring to are the items that were available from the Nightwave. This is Series 2, so none of these, but the mods that were in here, the noggles, the statues, anything that was in here is what it was basically referring to as the items that were available. There was Infested Decorations inside of dojos, which honestly do look pretty nice. I can think of many rooms that could go in. If you could get inside of that one decoration there, it would have made it so much better. But as it is, yeah, I can think of a few decent places I want to actually put this. How many enemies were soaked in Dog Days? Well, this guy on the left obviously was the least because it was the quickest and was the one that probably got the most kills. Would have been interested in seeing this as the most kills by enemies than the most soaked enemies by Tenno. New mastery rank badges, them, yes, they have needed a little bit of a rework for a while, but at the same time it's not really high on the list of things that went through all of these, and link to this will be in the description if you want to go have a proper look. It's this that got me more excited. This is Ivora's Deluxe Skin, and I'm assuming that is what the Artemis Boar will look like, and be massively wrong, because that will be the boar skin that comes with her, and the arrow skin as well. All in all, not a bad looking skin, though half of her looks one way and the other half looks a different way, as you can see. She doesn't look that bad. Personally, I still prefer the Tenno-gen skin than the Deluxe Skin. It does look nice. I'm looking forward to seeing how it looks more in game. I never make a decision on these until they're actually in game. This one, yeah, I like the knife on the ankle. It's a really nice touch and very subtly done. But I think I just prefer this to anything else because it's a Tenno-gen skin and I kind of liked it a lot, to the point of, well, I picked it up. And before I actually commit to that, I should probably make sure that this is in fact the Tenno-gen skin and that I'm thinking of. It is the Tenno-gen skin. Just, I like it way too much. The rest of them were kind of okay. That, I liked that one, well, obviously a lot because I'm still using it. Equinox's Deluxe Skin, on the other hand, just from the images here, does look pretty nice. You have, I'm assuming it's day form on the left, knife form in the middle, and the joined one on the right. I'm not going into what Equinox is anymore because I've had this discussion many times in the past, but you can see the one on the right has aspects of the other two, so I'm just kind of guessing at this point as to which one's which. Looking forward to seeing this in game a bit more than the Ivora one because it looks much better actually. Then there is the Swazi, or whatever the musical instrument is, emote that is going to allow you to, from what I can tell, actually play music. Because you have 3 different strings, sky fret, earth fret, water fret, all the frets are there, verb, whatever that is in the middle. It looks like you're going to actually be able to play this thing on relays. That might be a little bit overkill. It's going to cause issues on relays from people playing it. They went into the expansion of disruption mode, so it can now be done, or will soon be done, on many other planets. I like this idea because this is actually a good way to farm resources. I found it really fun, but this one, even though it's on Mars, had ghouls spawning, which is weird because the ghouls belong on Earth. Anywhere on Earth would be fine, but Mars? That was just a little bit out of place there, wasn't it? But the ghouls are being used instead of the amalgams in certain areas, whereas here, where they showed the Gauze's signature weapon, didn't look that bad, but you can kind of see that it did some weird splash damage on the floor. And again, this is one of those where looking at it does not really do it justice until it's actually in the game. I mean, they're bouncing around all over the place when they're hit by this. So looking forward to it, though, it looks kind of weird. The secondary, that I'm looking forward to a bit more, because it had a ring of, well, it's a dual wielding weapon. All I'm going to say is it's a dual wielding weapon, and I love those, though the reload on it was a bit long. They also went into more detail about the Imperium ships and the mod system that goes with it after announcing it at TennoCon 2018, then unveiling the Imperium, showing some of the mod system in 2019 at TennoCon over a month ago. They went into a lot more detail, and it's building more hype for a system that is now been well over a year since they announced it. It looks like it's finally getting to the point where we may be seeing this soon, hopefully. They then jumped into showing Grendel. This is one of the other frames. Gauze is going to be one of the new frames. This was another one showing off his abilities. You can see them on the right. His first ability, Feast, was interesting, to say the least, because what he basically did was eat enemies' health. But not a lot of the health. You see, that guy was still alive. I really could not kind of understand exactly what it was supposed to do. It's swallow an enemy whole and store it. Grendel's gut, not satisfied, keep eating. But beware, for each of the foes in your belly, energy will be consumed. Any damage dealt to you will be dealt to the enemies in your stomach, which might explain why he has such low health. That was Feast. His second ability, Nourish, consumes an enemies in his gut, so you need to have enemies in your gut to store them to be able to use Nourish. Doesn't sound like they're going to go that well. And Nourish nearby squad members with a radial buff. So his second ability is going to use these stored enemies inside and be able to, from what I could gather, heal the enemies. There's going to be 3 buffs. There's an energy one, a toxic AoE triggered thing, and an armor buff. His third ability, which is regurgitation, violently pukes out it just says bile soaked enemies from Grendel's gut, turning the unfortunate creature into a toxic projectile. That could also be really interesting, and ending with his fourth ability that they called Meatball, which, engorged from feeding, he will curl up into a ball, and it's called Meatball. You turn into a ball that rolls around. I'm sorry, but this sounds a lot like Atlas. Not Atlas. Yeah, Atlas. Because he can... There's a bit of a Norris in here as well with the eating of enemies. This guy can eat enemies. Doesn't heal him, but he can still do it. And Meatball, it just sounds like taking control of the rocks when Atlas shoots his wall at enemies, because it curls up into a ball and shoots towards them, and this similar kind of thing, but you control the ball. The more foes in your belly, the bigger the ball will be, and it says don't let your energy run out while you're in that mode or you will suffer a penalty. That penalty being, when you come out of it, the enemies are thrown up and obviously will start to attack you, so that sucks. goes, of course, the weapons I mentioned earlier was the other frame that they have mentioned in the future. They've also gone into the railjack because it still says railjack. They've called it Imperium, but are still using railjack themselves. It's there in black and white on their website. Link in the description below if you want to come and read through all of this, which basically broke down the Devstream much better, especially than showing footage of random bits of bleh. But it did mention that you will need a lot of space to build the dry dock for the Imperium, and we're going to leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching. Again, link for this will be in the description below if you want to come in and read through all of this, because there's a lot of it, and honestly, way too much to actually cover without this being stupidly long. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.